Hello and welcome to another League of Legends ranked commentary, today for support Nami. I'm going to talk a little bit for once about my starting items. Runes and Masteries, of course, going to be in the description below, as per my videos so far, and likely future videos. My starting items tend to be a little bit different than what a lot of people tend to run. Usually people grab a Rejuvenation Bead or a Fairy Charm, kind of get a head start on the Philosopher's Stone. I usually go with 3 Sight Wards, a Vision Ward, 3 Health Potions, and 2 Mana Potions, depending on which champion I am. Like as Leona, I found that I pretty much never use the extra Mana Potions, so I'll go either 5 Health Potions or 4 Health Potions and a Mana Potion. It just really gives you a little bit extra of a burst sustain when you need it. So you're getting poked down real quick, I'll use a potion, but my normal item configuration left me with a single potion. Well, now I have to kind of stand around and wait for that Rejuvenation Bead to fill me back up. I'm not number 5 in this game. That's slightly annoying. I'll have to deal with it. But yeah, I've just found that the health pots tend to work a little bit better for me. Likewise with the mana potions, I get a little bit more burst spam when I need it, as opposed to a little more over time. This, you know, you got to make adaptations based on what is happening in your games. If you find that you never use the health potions, obviously Rejuvenation Bead or Fairy Charm could be great, but again, this is what I found has been working pretty well for me so far. I threw my Explorer Ward down near the red buff as usual. That's kind of my standard go-to thing. They all were kind of gathering over here in the river, but nothing really came of that. No invades or anything. Now that I've kind of talked about those starting items, kind of speed things up ever so slightly, get a ward down. Volibear is doing the super clear. He did his blue to the wolves, and he's going to go Wraith's red buff probably. Takes a little longer to get through, but it is what it is. Now, one thing you might have noticed, so like my Zyra video, I'm just kind of going kind of crazy, just auto attack harassing. I do have the Pickpocket Mastery. I'm getting that little 3 gold bonus every so often, but I want to lay down harass like crazy. You land a bubble, get an auto attack off. Caitlyn lands a Piltover Peacemaker, and isn't that what it's called? It's like one of these things I wanted to try and make. Yeah, it's Piltover Peacemaker, Ace in the Hole. What the heck is Nami's Q called? Aqua Prison. These are like things I should know. I want to get into the habit of reading these beforehand. That last game I did a commentary on, that with Ezreal, the Arcane Essence Shift thing, that I couldn't remember the name of his E the entire game. Gang coming in mid. Kale getting out relatively safely. Bottom lane, we just have him pushed to the towers. I'm going to switch to manual camera briefly. I like the manual camera, but the implementation of it's kind of lacking in a few regards that bugs the crap out of me. But it is what it is. It's like I'd like to be able to hold the 2 button, kind of follow myself around and like angle the camera for an offset, or just kind of stop the camera from moving completely. I think I might have actually done it this time. No, I think the camera's moving tiny bit. Yeah, we're moving kind of downward a little. It's like I'd like to completely freeze the camera without my mouse coming up on screen. It's like that's my dreams and hopes for the spectator mode. And another Aqua Prison, a couple auto attacks off. I got an... Oh, I know Nami's W. I don't want to have to look it up. Ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. Sometimes I remember these things, usually don't. I'm like playing with the camera a little here. Yeah, you know, we're gonna speed things up again a little bit, and then I'm done commenting on the camera. It's, you know, kind of standard laning phase. The big thing is, especially as a ranged support versus a melee support, especially if it's like an Alistar using all his mana on heals as opposed to, you know, QW or WQs, whichever the order is. The head buttons will pulverize. You can knock them up where they stand instead of knocking them back and then knocking them up. If he's not going to harass with that, you know, go to town. Spam the aqua prisons. Spam the ebb and flows. I should probably be healing myself slightly. Here's me showing a little disrespect, hitting the Alistar with the aqua prison. Yeah, we're showing that disrespect. You gotta show disrespect. Disrespect's always good. See Volibear coming down, throw down the danger ping. See if anything comes of this. I don't remember. Aqua prison on Volibear, I remember this. This happens over and over this game, and it's pretty amusing in my mind. It's like, oh, you want a gank, and you're floating in midair for a second and a half or so, or 1.2 seconds, whatever the timer on Aqua Prison is. Apparently it's 1.5. I thought it was supposed to be 1.2. Who knows? There was a whole bunch of bugs with the duration on it, whatever. Get the scoreboard back up. Kind of see how things are going. We've been zoning Tristana pretty hard, and we have really nothing to show for it. So Tristana's been farming fairly well on her tower. Alistar, I believe, just used his first headbutt of the game at the 6-minute, 48-second mark. That's always a good sign. Alistar once again trying to go back. Will I show some disrespect? He pulled back further. Gotta show that disrespect. Establish that lane dominance. Might not be able to milk those, but the fish has got your number, cow. And we can speed things up again. Alistar's not here. I believe we just put a whole bunch of damage on the tower. One of these things, I tend to get really nervous by the tower. It's like, you know, the AD carry kind of hangs back a little bit, and then all of a sudden they move forward. It's like, oh, there's probably a gank coming. It didn't immediately, but yeah, Volibear showed up. Going in, and oh, look at that. Another Aqua Prison. And his Q run boost thing, also known as Rolling Thunder, wore off, and he couldn't throw me, so I started auto-attacking from the bush, because why the hell not? One kind of amusing thing from this game, Riven is running AP runes and masteries accidentally. And, considering that is kind of beating the crap out of Rumble. Yeah, there they are. The AP Riven, man. If we go to Mist and Aqua Prison, Alistar is gonna say hi to the bush first time. We gotta go say hi to Riven. 20 AP. See, she is running this stuff. She should have magic pen too. There's some magic penetration from the runes. Good stuff. Good stuff. And here we go. Tristana jumping in. I'm like in the thick of things. We hit 6. I throw the tidal wave. Caitlyn gets exhausted. My exhaust is already down. We're trying to make stuff happen here. Alistar knocking us back. Volibear coming up from behind. Volibear throwing me backwards just enough. Ebb and Flow comes up. I flash out of Volibear, and I don't quite survive, but I managed to take down Volibear for it. Dive, unsuccessful. We went 1 for 3. And once again, you know, you got me in an otherwise pretty damn good situation. Worth. It's lame, it's old, whatever. If you're gonna dive me as the support and I kill you solo, it's freaking worth it. I'm the goddamn support. I have no freaking offensive items. You don't get more worth it in my book than that. So, top lane, Rumble level 6 to Riven's 8. I am actually pretty curious about what the hell was going on up there this whole time. Other than the fact that Rumble is beating the crap out of Riven, you know, given the difference in runes, the only thing I can think is Riven had a... Well, that's kind of normal. No, that's not what I want, damn it. Riven, hi. 2v1 and a tower dive from Riven. It still gets a kill off on Rumble. Just for the hell of it. Here's the fight. We're gonna take a look at this. Volibear came in and Riven just said, screw you guys, I'm going all balls deep man mode. And she got a kill for it. I don't know if she would have escaped, but hell. If you're tower diving the enemy 2v1 when you're in a 1v2 situation, pff, more power to you. Yeah, the dying sucks. Probably would have been better to avoid it, but hell. But hey, that's, in my book, that's still one hell of a play, even if it wasn't the best option. And let's get out of that teamfight UI. Out of the teamfight UI. There we go. Sometimes I press the correct buttons, and it's all good. One thing I've noticed too, I complained about it in that Fizz game. Was it the Elise? If I so much as ducked into the fog of war for a split second, there was like 3 missing pings popping up in that mid lane. That was like the first, maybe second one. I don't know, whatever. And as usual, I can speed things up as I go back down to focus on myself. Right down here at the bottom lane. Not a whole lot going on at the moment. We can actually go to ×4. Nautilus tries to go catch Tristana, of course being Tristana, the slippery little yordle that she is, just kind of rocket jumped over the wall. Did not want to play. Could not imagine why. And we ping danger for over there. We have no vision on Volibear, so I throw down a ward. I had a pink one left, so I put it down. We are now pretty much entirely covered on the entire bottom section of the map, except a little bit towards Dragon, but we have a ward here to catch that. So they basically have to come through lane to gank us, or go through some completely weird way. Enemy team is pinging warnings on Dragon, thinking we retreated to go back there, because they don't have any wards whatsoever. Alistar is building offensive items. He started with the Mana Manipulator, I believe. So it didn't have a lot of wards to begin with. It did not have a lot of wards on the back of being a Kage's Lucky Pick as a rush item. I'm not really sure how much of a benefit he's getting off of that. 6 health. Yeah, hi. Game. Stop it. Okay, extra 22. He's getting a little bit of extra damage off it, but I don't know if I'd say that was worth it. We're grouped up mid. They're pushing bottom or something. We want to take this tower. It's already really low. And they're gonna clear a fairly random ward, and then Volibear's gonna come middle. They're gonna try to push bottom. We take mid turret. No contest there. They are Kassadin pulled back real far. We ping for the fence on the bottom turret. It's like we're kind of hanging around here mid lane too long. We're really not going to get much happening out of that unless we want to dive at this point, which would probably not be the best idea in the world. Yeah, Riven was doing it up top 1v2, but you really don't want to be doing that when you don't need to. Like here, they got a little damage on the tower. If we had taken the tower and immediately went bottom lane, we could have possibly caught one of them out, caught a second one out. We could have pushed the lane up, tried to push the outer tower there. We could have taken Dragon. Dragon's been up for a while. Actually, I don't even know if Dragon's been taken. Top fight lane, Rumble drops. And Griffin flashes, tries to get away. Volibear gets the kill off, and his passive pops, which keeps him alive. So, 1 for 1. It happens. Kassadin roams top lane. Nautilus getting caught out. Flashes, throws his hook to the tower. I overshoot with the camera, and he gets picked up with Riftwalk under the tower anyway by Kassadin. He's Kassadin, he does those kind of slippery things. I don't know where the hell I'm going with this camera. I'm just going to lock onto myself again. I picked up an Oracle's, running around, clearing wards out. Saw Rumble heading over there. We had vision from minions. Threw an Aqua Prison at him when he would have walked into the bush. Had he gotten hit by that, he probably would have been dead, or at least very low. I have a pretty good suspicion that they're over here in the bush. Or getting blue buff, rather. Or actually, yeah, we have a pretty good idea. I wonder why we had a pretty good idea. I don't know why whatsoever, or for whatever reason they would have any idea of that. Could not possibly because they have the blue buff bush warded, could it? Nah. Alright, fight breaks out bottom lane. They try to kind of rush us under tower. Tidal wave to disengage, get him off of us. Unfortunately, used it a little too early. Nautilus was there. We could have turned this around into a better fight. So we got to do what we have to do. We're all grouped up nice and tightly, and I already died, unfortunately. Caitlyn kills off Volibear. They're pursuing, trying to get another kill. 50 caliber net to chase and get closer. Both going for the person who has the major escape rather than the... I can't say not major escape, but Alistar would have had to go backwards himself to do it. So, I don't know if it would have been possible to get both. I don't know. They did catch Tristana, though, so it's all good. I remembered incorrectly and thought Tristana had gotten away there. Something like that. Yeah, you know, Tristana could have just rocket jumped someplace, gotten away, yada yada. But, yeah, I was not remembering the correct fight. Go me. So, Dragon is, well, still up, because it's been up the entire game so far. We can speed things back up. We can get Dragon, no contest. Riven, running away from Volibear and Rumble. She could probably still kill both of them at this point. Maybe not. Maybe not both. She could probably kill one before she died herself. And not a whole lot going on. Let's go to ×4. Let's also switch to the directed camera and not be staring at a random Fog of War section while I'm looking at the minimap for things to actually be occurring. Teamfight breaks out very quickly, and I'm just going to hit rewind here so we can see what the hell just happened. Because at ×4 speed, that was actually a little too fast. Rumble gets caught out of position. Slowed by Kale, locked down, equalizer dropped across to both of them. Oh, Riven moves out of it. Decides that Kale decides she likes the equalizer and is going to sit in it. Riven going for the kill, finishes them off, and Kassadin roams top and finishes off Riven. Don't fight in the equalizer. Don't do it. No, don't. Nothing else you can say about that. It's just one of those things. You just don't fight in the equalizer. For actually what it does, line of rockets, enemies in the area have their movement speed slowed and take a whole crap load of damage each second over 5 seconds. So if you sit in it for the duration, you're looking at over 1,000 points of damage. In Kale's case, she has 1,696 health. 1,000 damage roughly taken from Rumble's ult. That would have been a kill on Kassadin when he roamed up there, but unfortunately Kale sat in the Rumble ultimate. Anyway, back to ×4 speed. Gotta slow down anytime it looks like someone's getting close to somebody. Kassadin's split pushing top lane. Turret gets taken top lane. A little chase breaks out mid lane. Nothing really comes of it. Volibear being Volibear, just kind of rolling thunders away. Bot lane getting pinged by both teams. It's pretty low at this point. If they had the minion wave there, they would be able to kind of just go in and kill it. But they choose to back off. We did walk across some wards on the way down there. We're pinging retreat pings mid lane. Things, once again, take a turn for the worse. Kale decides the best time to ult herself is at full health. Not the necessarily worst idea. Except there's a little bit of a problem. Notice where Riven is standing. Notice where Riven is still standing. Riven just took 1,000 plus damage from the Rumble ultimate by standing on it the whole time. I don't know if she could have gotten away at that point, but given the fact that the entire enemy team was there, we can speed this back up a little bit. Nautilus tanks the enemy team quite valiantly, but we just are too far away to get there in time, so we back off before we get ourselves into any kind of trouble. And of course, the oh my god, we lost a brief little fight, better surrender. Just pointing out, you know, we're behind 1 kill, we're up 4,000 gold. And someone's already, oh my god, we just lost this game horribly. You tried to fight 3v5, that's not the right button, and lost. What did you expect to happen? There were spam retreat pings going out. People stuck around and fought anyway. That's what happens. Anyway, team fight about to break out the tower. Aqua Prison grabs 2. We kill Kale. Volibear about to drop. Tristana not in a happy place. Tries to kill me. Kale with the clutch invulnerability on me. Intervention. How's it actually called? Intervention, yeah. Saving that support. Good show, Kale. Good show. You redeemed yourself after that standing in the Rumble ult incident earlier. So we have a nice little 5k gold lead. 3 of them are dead. We're all mid. That tower is going to melt. That inhibitor is also going to melt. And we got very lucky. Had Cassidon ulted into the group of us and fired off his null zone, or no, force pulse, he would have done a pretty good amount of damage, and they could have just followed up with a big fight on the back of that. Rumble's ult was back up. He could have laid that like right across the entrance, or like here, where y'all would have had to walk across it briefly. We go Baron. I actually don't know if we even have vision of any of them over here. No. Do they have vision of us? I don't believe so. This is one of these. They probably are doing it. Volibear comes charging in, hits a trap. Nautilus decides that's a good time to just run away. Which, okay, fine, whatever. Kale decides that she wants to finish killing Baron and completely ignores the team fight happening around her. We all get caught standing on the equalizer, which you don't do. Do not stand on the equalizer. Once Volibear showed up, we all needed to peel off of Baron, kill Volibear, drop the Baron aggro, and get the hell out of there. Or we needed to finish, just burst down Baron with everything we had, then turn on the entire team while Baron buff was on us. We did neither. We lost everybody to their 1, and they stole that Baron pickup. Our 4-5k gold lead is now down to 1k. Yay for throws. Also, kind of like a little pro tip of the day, don't Baron when the entire enemy team is up. Unless they're horribly out of position, like you see them taking this tower down here, you'll probably have time to take Baron. Otherwise, probably not. And they all managed to slip out. We managed to not lose mid-tower, which is the inhibitor tower mid-lane, so not terrible. Came out of that okay. Item-wise, starting to get towards late game. I'm working on an Aegis. I picked up the usual sight zone after the Philo Stone. I kind of should touch on these things a little bit. Just switch to directed camera. They're taking Dragon. We're just kind of ignoring it. Otherwise, Riven's working on a Hydra. A couple Zonias on their team. Volibear is getting pretty tanky. Our Nautilus is just as tanky. The Nautilus still only has tier 1 boots at the 25-minute mark. It is what it is. Caitlyn is... let's switch to the gold view. About 1,000 gold ahead, so... all said and done, the teams are pretty even. There's no one with like a huge lead over anyone else. Despite having 7 kills, Cassidon is only up 500 gold or so. So things across the board pretty even. Bunch of kills picked up. Rumble is now actually caught up with Riven. They still have Baron buff for about another minute and a half or so, so we're trying to not pick a fight with them. That, what was it, Twitch game? What game was it? That was a Fizz game where we actually took the other team while they had Baron. But here they actually have a proper team fight team, as we're going to see a team fight break out here shortly as the minions push in. I have the mouse off to the side. That's not what I wanted exactly, but whatever. Alright, a little back and forth poking. Just speed things up slightly. There's a little back and forth while nothing's happening. This is how team fights typically go. A little more back and forth. Back and forth. They're waiting on minions. Caitlyn's got her usual snap traps in pretty good positions. Aqua Prison, I'm throwing out as harass. Lands on Cassidon. That's when they decide to go in, which is an awesome play on their part. Aqua Prison's down. We don't have to worry about getting caught in it. They dive us under the tower and just completely wipe us out. Caitlyn's extremely low. Nautilus extremely low. Caitlyn just narrowly surviving. Nautilus trying to get under the cover of the tower. Unfortunately, not able to pull out a kill or anything off of it. So, here comes their inhib. Caitlyn's ace in the hole, not quite enough to kill Tristana. Caitlyn lets herself get a little too close, waits too long to use the 50 caliber net, gets Rolling Thundered back into the group and killed. And another surrender vote goes up. Yay. At this point, we are actually slightly behind. It kind of makes sense. But it is what it is. At this point, what should be going through the team's mind is, what do we need to do to win this game? Well, we're not having much luck in team fights. That's now completely and utterly apparent. We're just grouping up. In my case, I wasted my Aqua Prison, which was pretty bad. We didn't have anything to follow up on it, so me throwing that on Cassidy was completely worthless because no one could actually do anything. No one could do anything to take advantage of the fact that I got Cassidy with an Aqua Prison. Worse, even if I had gotten him, if he had been directly next to the tower in melee range of the tower, it wouldn't have done anything because all Cassidy would have to do was just rift walk back out. So, the absolute worst person for me to Aqua Prison, I got Aqua Prisoned, and they took that opportunity and engaged off the back of it. So, very bad misplay on my part with that. Really what needs to be happening now is the lanes are pretty much even. Both teams have an inhibitor down. Theirs actually just respawned, so they have an inhibitor up. We have one down. So their lanes are all pushing, makes it a lot harder to split push. But that's pretty much what we need at this point. Riven is still really strong. Riven could be running around, split pushing, and killing people who go to kill her. Cassidy might be able to burst her down, but Rumble, she could probably still kill outright. She's been doing pretty good at that the entire game. And here, can you tell what's going to go wrong? 1, 2, 3... I stood in the equalizer. Nautilus was kind of caught out in the equalizer. Everyone kind of got caught out in the equalizer except for Caitlyn. No one could get to the backline who needed to. Riven would have been the ideal choice to get there. Kind of the glass cannon build, not really cutting it. Kale still, we lost 20 minutes ago. Yada yada yada. And I believe, yeah. They're just gonna push for the win right here. Kale's respawned a little while ago. Or, no, she didn't respawn. I thought she did. Alright, whatever. She's gonna AFK regardless. Gotta love that little pro team spirit. Caitlyn going for a last second kill pickup. The really sad thing, had Kale been participating in this, look at the team. I should be in the team fight. Look at the team health. That was without Kale. Had Kale been a part of that, we could have rushed down middle, tanked the turrets, and tried to win the game. Because Kale has been, just went all negative. We lost 20 minutes ago. We could have, would we have been guaranteed the victory? No. Would we have gotten down the mid lane, taken out that inhibitor? Yes. Could we have rushed and taken Baron, which was also up? Yes. Was the game completely over? Not by any... not in any way, shape, or form. As we are now looking at a blank screen, because I kind of accidentally hit the continue button. Never, I'll be perfectly clear with it. I reported kill after the game for that AFK. If not for the fact that it just, end the game, I give up, push and win, because I've been done with this game for 15-20 minutes now, and I just want to get it over with. I had a couple games that I'm probably not going to do commentaries on because they were complete stomps. There was an incident with a Master Yi who had first pick and decided that, I'm actually going to just open a folder here real quick. I did take a screenshot of it because I found it kind of amusing at the time, and I thought he was just joking around, and unfortunately he was not. It was the all-important Lulu, Nami, and Sona bans. Which, of course, makes it a ton of fun to try and, pick around someone like Leona. Yeah, you could go to Zyra or something. I don't remember if I did that game or not. I don't remember that game specifically, but the game is, unless it's like completely obvious the game is over, like they've been acing you in team fight after team fight after team fight, and just like completely, utterly acing you, like we're not even going to give you the time of day or a chance. Yeah, we screwed up horribly in that jungle fight near the golems. We got our asses handed to us. They kept pushing. We almost killed them without Kale. Had we had that extra little bit of firepower and damage, we were still more than in that game. We would have had some shutdown bonuses coming our way. That would have been a couple completed items. We would have had that inhibitor back down. We would have possibly picked up Baron. There was a lot of opportunity for us to work off that had Kale not AFK'd. But, you know, we'll never actually know how that could have possibly played out otherwise. Hope you learned something. I definitely did. Like, don't waste Aqua Prisms on Cassidans who are over the wall and you can't do anything to anyway, because it allows your team to just, or rather, it allows the enemy team to just decide to, oh, Aqua Prison, go, go, go! Also, don't stand in the damn equalizers. It happened too many times, even I did it. Wasn't really in a position in all fairness at that point. That was just a complete horrible spot for us to be. But, just don't stand in the equalizers. Just don't do it. Don't. So much damage. Just way too much damage. Don't do it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, rate, and/or subscribe. Have a great day.